It's December 7th, 2016, and the 75th observance of the attack on Pearl Harbor. That killed 2,400 people, cost the Navy 21 ships and 188 aircraft. Today I want to talk about why Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. The following in no way is meant to take away from the lives lost at Pearl Harbor or in World War II. The war with Japan was going to happen. For a decade, the relationship with Japan and America had been strained and only getting worse. According to this book, men stationed in the Pacific were taking wagers on who was going to strike first and when the war was going to happen. That's because Japan was an empire, and like most empires throughout history, they wanted to grow. The only problem was that by the 1930s, so much of the world was already conquered and smaller countries were aligned with larger, more powerful countries. Therefore, when Japan started rolling out its war machine and conquering countries in 1931, the world took note. In 1933, Japan left the League of Nations, and by 1937, Japan was in all-out war with China. America's response to the war with China was to impose economic sanctions on Japan. In July of 1941, Japan had conquered and occupied French Indonesia. At this time, America saw the Philippines as its asset, and now Japan was ridiculously close to threatening that asset. America imposed further sanctions. This time it was oil sanctions, and the war machine of the 20th century could not function without oil. Japan's strategy was a preemptive attack on Pearl Harbor that would crush the American fleet and open the Pacific up for their conquest. Japan thought that America was still too hurt from the Great War to really pursue a fight with Japan. So Japan planned and exercised the attack for about a year. But Japan was wrong about America's fortitude, and the American Congress declared war on Japan the very next day. The war with Japan came to an end in August of 1945, when 2 atomic bombs were dropped within days of each other. The first one on August 6, 1945 on Hiroshima, and the second August 9, 1945 on Nagasaki. A few days after the second bomb was dropped, the Empire of Japan surrendered, ending the war in the Pacific.